Morning, Donnie Walker. You know, I told you a while ago I had problems with my truck. The starter not working. I had to jump it all the time, and headlights weren't working. Power windows, heater, fan. My buddy Steve came over last night, or I went up to his place. Thank God. I was getting tired of not having a window go down when it's hot out, or up when it's rainy out. Which it did rain this morning, but that's good. It's been really dry here. We need the rain. As you can see, it's very green around here right now, which is nice. So yeah, thanks, Steve. Steve and Stephanie are going to come kart racing with me on Saturday. We got another event at that Cowichan track, which I'll try to GoPro and show you that again, and hopefully be able to narrate a little bit and talk this time. I'm getting some editing figured out. Okay, so yeah, back to the real work, eh? Yeah, you can see behind us, behind my old shop here, where it's so green right now. Maple trees, alder trees are leafing like crazy. Got quite a stand back here, big tall Douglas firs. You see that one there? It's about a 200-foot tall one. Goes right down the bottom of this ravine, way high up to get into the sunshine. Big red cedars back here. Got one huge big balsam. A lot of times there's an eagle or hawks hang out up top there. You can see that one. It goes way up. It's probably a 200-foot or two. Beautiful old growth tree. Yeah, nice backyard. We grew up here, playing down here in the ravine. Got dirty, got muddy. We never had colds and stuff when we were kids. I think dirt and mud is a good thing for kids. People are too clean sometimes. Not that you shouldn't shower, but you know what I mean. Yeah, just being funny. Oh, here's all the birds. Birds this morning down there. A lot of times there's owls, a few hawks. Yeah, beautiful little greenery here in the city. We're just on the outskirts of the city, but we're still classified as a city. Yesterday, did a video, 372 modified cylinder, and what I did to them. I got a few stills here today that I do quite a few. Just want to go over them and show you something else that's kind of neat. The new stills, the 462, the 500, the 661, they all got great numbers. Almost exactly the way I would port old saws. These new ones are coming that way now. So they don't need a lot of porting. They just need to be blueprinted and a few things touched up and polished up. Can't do much with the combustion chambers. I see some people online cutting different squishes and combustion chambers in these. Well, I don't know about that. I'm sure it might work good for you on a racing saw or even a work saw if it's done right. I'm not an expert at it all, but I do know quite a bit about kind of how they should be. Old theory of heads. Always worked good for me, especially with my kart engines, my motocross motors I've built. I used to use some heads from Holland called HTM, I believe. VHM. My friend Magnus from Sweden hooked me up, and I used to buy heads from them. Billet aluminum heads with interchangeable combustion chambers. We had combustion chambers for sand tracks, mud tracks, dry tracks. I would change the combustion chamber, more torque in the mud, and then more top end if it's dry and sandy. I would change the combustion chamber to different settings that I wanted. I also had good tuned pipes on those bikes from Doma Racing out of Italy, I believe. And Magnus helped develop a few pipes for them for some of the small bikes, the KX80s, 85s, KX100, CR80s, stuff like that. And we had programmable ignitions too, so we used to really get them to honk. I had 80s going as quicker than most 125s here for quite a while. And these kids did good. So anyways, that's that. I just want to talk heads. You know, like you look at the different combustion chambers on these saws these days. The Husky one I think's got the best that I like. If you notice it in there, you got a nice pocket, don't like just a nice combustion chamber, wide squish band and nice sharp edges on the between the squish band and the pocket. Years ago, when I first started doing kart engines and motocross motors, I used my lathe and I did my own heads, shave them down and redo the pockets. In kart racing, we had rules where you're only allowed so much compression, so you get measured at races, and I was the guy that did it a lot. I was the tech guy, and just try to make it fair for once so people weren't cheating. So as I say that, I used to use the golf ball effect. Right there, man. Take a golf ball, cut it in half. It's a perfect hemisphere, isn't it? Hemi heads. This is an old McCulloch head off an old I-53, I think, that my dad took apart and put a different motor in it. You notice the golf ball fits exactly in this chamber. That's a Hemi. They had a nice combustion chamber, McCulloch did. No compression release in them, which is good. I don't like compression releases in the combustion chamber, like a lot of the new saws have now. So I've been putting plugs in them, and then I put a nice rubber plug in the cover so the hot air doesn't blow up on your hand. So that's a good theory. I've done it that way for years. I think it works for me. If you don't agree, doesn't matter to me. So so this 462 has a nice combustion chamber. A little round on the edges, but that's fine. It's a nice shape. Almost exactly like that, just without the sharp edge. It's a little more rolled over. The 500's got an odd one. It's like a NASCAR track. It's like an oval. Real wide on one side and narrow on the edges, the top and front. And it's kind of angled a little different. So I kind of almost think that they made it that way. They got these little, it's probably hard for you to see, but if you take one apart and look at it, on the sides where the transfers, when the transfer fuels come up, they got this combustion chamber shaped a little bit in there. So it looks like it's going to direct it more in the middle, exactly where their plug is. And they use the small little CMR 5H plugs. And fallers or loggers out there, don't forget they're a different plug than your old saws, the 14 mil thread. Now they're 10. So grab a spare and a spare fuel filter. Like I say, $20 worth of parts is better than a $450 cylinder. Keep your maintenance up. Anyways, same thing, combustion release right in the side of that chamber. Let's plug it off. I'm going to start plugging them all off. 3 problems with compression releases. They leak, so you lose power. They get carbon buildup, so then that's how they start leaking, get buildup in it. And then they also, I've had some years ago, they'd break after a bunch of time out in the woods and fall into the motor. And what happens? Wrecks the motor. So there's 3 different ways of looking at it. Like I say though, they're doing a great job. These new motors are coming out quite well built. Just a lot of people just don't have the mindset around yet of this electronic carburetors and fuel injected 500, but they're all working good. They've had some hiccups, but overall it's good. They've done their research. I remember Ron Hartel telling me, if any of you guys ever heard of him, he used to work for Poulan and Husqvarna, one of the best logger sports guys ever in the world. He's originally from New Zealand, good friend of our family and my dad's. He told me years ago, it was over 25 years ago, he's seen the stills with fuel injection being tested in Australia. So they've been working on it a long time. And they're not the first fuel injected saw. I told you before, John Surratt had one in like 1955 or something. Amazing. They also had a diesel chainsaw. Pretty cool. John Surratt, partner at Husqvarna, they're all from the same kind of town area. Amazing, 3 saw companies, manufacturers in one country, eh? But they all built good stuff. Really cool stuff. Heated handlebars with exhaust, the electronic handlebars. some neat stuff, man. Then, you know, John sort of came out with like those turbo. So everyone thought they had a turbo, but they didn't. It was air injection. And the Husqvarna had a patent that air injection system, but it must have ran out because everyone has it now. Works good. So yeah, then some guys were asking me about, I keep saying that ran something on the dyno years ago or whatever. Yeah, I got one. I'm just waiting for a new program to come from my computer so I can do some printouts, and then I'm going to start running my Briggs card engines on it as well. I have it here. I have a 3-to-1 ratio, I think 7/2 to 21. Balanced shaft, so it's smooth running. Air intake to the starter, give it fresh air. Big exhaust fan there, and another exhaust fan here that I move over and suck the exhaust out. Air quality is really important with a dyno. You can lose a lot of horsepower by not having fresh air. So I run with my doors open and everything, and put the barometer reading into the computer when you're doing a run. Haven't done any runs for a long time, but once I get this new program, I get back at her and we'll take some do some testing on all the new stuff and the newer stuff coming. The new Huskies when they finally get here will be cool. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that stuff and show you a few things. I got 2 572s to do right now and a 500. I'll do my 3 for the day. I try to do at least 2 to 4 a day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Depends other stuff in life going on. So yeah, looking forward to going kart racing again this weekend, and go and help my dad Sunday. He needs a little bit of hand with just moving some stuff around in his yard and whatnot, and he wants some more pallets for his neighbor to light firewood on. So I'll go help him out with that. And yeah, that's what my mom was asking me this morning. So we'll help him out. I'll go out there Sunday after the racing on Saturday, and gotta spend time with the parents and help them out. You know, they helped us out all our lives. So anyways, have a good day. Keep your saw in the wood. Enjoy the spring and the green. Take care. Bye.